Welcome back to Bump 200. World's fastest bumper car update. And no sooner as I finished rambling about this and that and those and everything else, my good friend Adam turned up from TAC Engineering in Cottonwood. He's actually been modifying foot pegs and pedals and things on my Honda CB550, 750 even. And the good news is he's agreed to help out with fabrication of things like bumper skirts and chassis. And actually he said, I'm not stupid, these will work. He's going to cut and shut this and put a sleeve over it just to make it nice and secure. We're going to be looking at different ways of mounting that bigger tooth sprocket onto the drive shaft itself. I know it's an axle, I just took that shot about 4 times already. So things are about to start moving fast. With or without your help, but it'd be nice if we got a few more bucks. So if you haven't already, please donate. $10 to do. And this is what it's looking like up the front end in terms of track, I think. And that's quite decent. And that ends up looking like this from a point of view of a wheelbase, etc. Which we should approximately 32 inches. Yeah, near as damn it. So 32-inch wheelbase is not so good. We can gain another 4 inches on the wheelbase by moving the wheels further forward. Then we lose track width, obviously. I need to understand better what's more important, front width track or wheelbase. Given that we're just going in a straight line, I'm thinking the track width is more important than the wheelbase, because the wheelbase is only important when it comes to things like cornering. And this is the prime example. Yes, the Lancia Stratos. Infamously short wheelbase, which allowed it to be thrown around corners at very rapid speeds. But we're not going to be doing that in the bumper car. We're just going to try and keep it in a straight line. Okay, we've managed to negotiate, I think, another 8 inches of wheelbase, or 7, let's say, to be conservative. Because I think we can tuck the wheels back here. We can carve out some of that there, and yeah, that gives us another 8 inches of length. It's going to narrow the track a little bit at the back, but I'm not too worried about that. Just means we'll have to cut more out of the actual drive shaft axle thing. Talking of which, let's chop these down to size. And that means it's Kawasaki time. And that means safety goggles. No, I don't really wear those because I can't see shit out of them. I wear these because I want to look like Bono. Not. Ready? Stage 1. Okay, so I'd worked out that these, the holes in the originals, yeah, those, were just about where I need to start cutting. And then we just need to grind it down slowly to fit, not a lot more to come off, to fit down there. Then we need to screw some holes in it, obviously. And we'll be using the winch, the bench grinder thing, and more protective equipment like gloves, because it's going to get hot. There we go. I would say that's a pretty damn good fit. Cool. I may leave the actual drilling of the holes to somebody with more accurate equipment, because you know it's a bit hit and miss when it comes to me. And of course, obviously, we want that thing absolutely dead center. But it's looking pretty good. Yeah, nice. Lovely. Anyway, it's keeping me fit. Yes, we have large wobbly dumbbells. So that's the optimum kind of width on the body before it starts tapering in really seriously at the end. And we got 32 inches at the back, which is the smallest measurement, obviously. I'm sorry, did I say 32? What I meant was 29, because obviously it's got to come off the back of the wheel. So yeah, 29. Okay, and what we've actually got is, have we done this before? 33. Yes, I think we've done this before, and I came up with 3 inches. Now we need 4. Then I remembered it came with some spacers. Where do the spacers go? Well, they go in there, which puts that outside the wheel, and that's better. But of course, it increases the track, so we'd have to take out even more out the middle. But that's fine. If we're going to take something out, we'll take whatever it takes. Now the spacers are 35mm. What's he doing? He's mixing up Imperial with Metal. It's alright, it's kind of irrelevant. Let's just measure the track. Okay, let's call it 36 to be safe. And we need 29, so we've got to take 7 inches out the middle. Not 3. Or 4. And thou shalt not count to 2 unless proceeding to 3. Anyway, that spacer might give us just enough room for a caliper. But on the other side of things, sprocket wise, with this big chunky motorcycle chain, yeah, not so much. So we're going to have to come up with a different solution for mounting our motorcycle sprocket to the rear axle. But I'm thinking an M8 grade 8 bolt straight away through will do the job. Okay, time to get some real weight measurements for those power to weight ratio questions that I kept asking you. So here I am. Apparently only 156 pounds. That's amazing. Okay. Batteries are low. That's not helpful. Really? Obviously I couldn't hold the camera and the bumper car and step on the scales to work out the difference. Anyway, the total is 195 pounds of me and the bodywork and the lights. And the rear axle, complete, is 20 pounds. So for the front you probably want to add another 10 pounds for the steering device, whatever that may be. And there's a motor, and you're going to have to look that up because I don't know how much R6 motor weighs. Then of course there's the bumper, which weighs fuck all. Absolutely nothing. Oh, okay, 5 pounds maximum, even with the foam, if I fill it with foam. Then of course there's the chassis, and that depends whether we make it out of aluminium or steel or even aluminum. Is aluminum lighter than aluminium? I don't know. It's got one less letter in it. So I would be allowing at least another £50 for ancillaries and bits and pieces and radiators and hoses and whatever else we're going to have to fit in there. Speedo weighs fuck all too. That's my initial estimate of £400. A little bit optimistic on the generous side of things, but who knows? Let me know. Anyway, all you clever dicks, don't be starting telling me about weight of batteries and things, because we're going to be using this little baby. It's tiny. Yeah. It's only got to do 2 runs. More sketches, more considerations, more development. I have to say this is quite the project because, I mean, you're just starting with a blank sheet apart from an oval to fit it all in. You know, you're developing an entire chassis and working out the ride height and everything else. It's quite extraordinary. So many variables to be taken into account and be able to create. Unlike just throwing a Chevy motor in a Porsche or throwing an Alfa motor in a Lancia Stratos replica. The world is our oyster, and apparently it's quite a large clamshell. I mean, just look at it. There's all kinds of variations. What goes where? Ground clearance, skirt clearance, bumper clearance, axle clearance. Need some clarity. Anyway, I think that's more than enough to be digesting for this week. So thanks always for tuning in and watching. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.